What's going on, my PT peeps, my Walking Dead family, my fighters? I'm One Eye Bright, also known as PT. Don't know if I'm winking or blinking, but I'm definitely thinking about The Walking Dead Season 11 Part 3. And is it underwhelming with Lance, or was it at least? Spoiler warning for all things Walking Dead. So, if those who don't know, Lance died or got shot in the neck with an arrow, and then we never saw him die, but I'm sure he died, and he's probably going to come back as a walker. But was it underwhelming, really, how it ended for him? I mean, I think it was. So in 11:20, he was freed by Daryl and Carol, and we thought he may get away. We thought he had possible connections with CRM, and we're waiting for those CRM connections, whether it's with Lance or Pamela Milton or Mercer or whoever, but I don't think it's going to happen, honestly, now after we're running out of episodes, basically. I hope it happens, but, we have to be realistic about it. But Lance was freed by Carol and Daryl, and they needed Lance's help to find the train and their people. And they found the train, and they found their people, but they didn't need Lance anymore. So the story is really unfolding for it to end one way or another in Season 11, Episode 24. But this was Season 11, Episode 20, and it feels rushed in 21 and 22, but it didn't feel that way in 17, 18, 19, and 20, in my opinion. It's like all of a sudden, you got rid of Sebastian, you got rid of Lance, and then we got to do a couple more things for like every character, and then it's over. And Lance is not the biggest character, but he's definitely a character that had some pretty big story arc in Season 11. It was one of those things where he's different from the comic, which was good, but Carol and Daryl were going to let him go. What if he did get away? That would be a great way to connect the CRM angle. And there's been tons of easy ways to connect the dots, but they just chose not to do it. And I don't think they're going to. But Lance walks away, chooses to go for the rifle, like he's going to take out Daryl and Carol. I mean, come on, Lance. You're expendable. You're not going to take out two OGs, some of the biggest characters in the Walking Dead universe. Come on, man. But he gets shot in the neck with an arrow by Carol, which is interesting because it basically should have been in the face. It should have been through the eyeball. Nice callback to Denise. It just should have been those things. We should have seen the arrow in the eye, but for some reason, they decided to put it in the neck, so he'll die, bleed out, and come back as a walker. Will he come back as a variant walker? That's probably how it would be, because it would just make sense with the variant walkers. They're all of a sudden, we see them more and more and more and more. And I know they've been around since Season 1, but Carol and Daryl get in the Jeep, and then they roll out. And Lance is there, looking at the stars and dying. And after all the story about Lance and Pamela Milton and Lance trying to take Hilltop, Oceanside, Alexandria, and succeeding, and then going after Daryl, connecting the dots with Leah, getting hit by the bullet in the cheek, all these different things were like, wow, there's a lot for this character. But I think Lance is going to come back as a walker, maybe even be in this horde with Aaron, Elijah, Luke, Jules, Lydia, and Jerry. It would make sense if he's there. That'd be pretty cool, and I think we'll see Lance the Walker for sure. But like I said, he had connections, radio contacts, alliances, just a lot of big stuff there. It could have been an easy way to open up the world of the Walking Dead universe if he was still alive. Take out Pamela Milton. Take out Sebastian. Lance would have been a good villain to follow in the spin-offs, or one way or another, especially if he was connected with the CRM. Now, I guess that's wishful thinking, but a lot of us want connections with the CRM. We're tired of the plot holes. We want to see these connections, right? I mean, am I wrong? Let me know in the comments. I mean, do you want to see? I know some people want the story to end and the series to end, but some people don't. A lot of people don't want the Walking Dead universe to go away. And also, we could have had this explained when Lance was being weird with Pamela Milton, when she was, touching his face and his hair. And it didn't happen once. It happened twice. And are we ever going to find out that? Probably not, right? It's one of those things where stuff was shown. You had some angle towards it. There was some, emphasis on it. And then, boop, gone. The show is ending whether we like it in a couple episodes. And also, what about his people at the Commonwealth, right? Calhoun, Shira, and other people. I'm sure there were others that Lance worked with or had under his belt or in his group. We know what happened to Calhoun, and for those who don't know, Calhoun was killed and then fed to Sebastian the Walker. But Shira is still alive, or aka Stephanie. And they had that whole thing with Eugene and her. And now she's been MIA for a couple episodes. Same thing with Lance. Lance had the arrow in his neck in season 11, episode 20. We don't see him in 21, and we don't see him in 22. I would assume we'll see him again in 23. But is it kind of feeling underwhelming, not just with Lance, but a couple areas? It seems rushed and feels rushed in a lot of areas. It feels like, okay, we got to here. Oh, what about this, and this? Yep, wrap it up. Eugene trial. Yep, 1 episode. Yep, here, there, his. Yep, and we're done. See you guys. Walking Dead universe. See you later. I just don't want it to end in a way that's unfulfilling and unsatisfying, but I feel like we're getting there, and it is. So we'll have to see how it plays out. Only time will tell. But let me know your thoughts. Post your comments below. And I hope the Rick and Michonne series is the best of the spinoffs. And it should be with Rick and Michonne, 2 great characters. But Daryl, Dead City, we'll see how it all plays out. Like I said, I want to know your thoughts on this. Please let me know in the comments. Thank you guys either way. Stay safe and tell them, Daryl.
Yo, we love you guys.